Welcome, everyone. So today is a very special day because today Hexaplan is live, and in this live stream I will run you through Hexaplan. Now, what is Hexaplan? Hexaplan is a platform that Jeroen and I have developed. Jeroen is my right hand in Koenz trading as well. It is a platform that we have developed over the past 1.5 years to help people create trading plans and become consistently repeatable, profitable. Of course, that's the goal. And we've worked on it. So in this live stream, I will introduce the platform to you. Very exciting. So Jeroen is in the chat as well. I think he is disguised as Hexaplan Trade. Welcome, Skuggy, Yanev. What's up, Tim? LaFerrari, how you doing? Incubus, we are doing good. Thank you. Dishan, Chabel, Calvin, welcome. So yeah, in this live stream, like it's such a big announcement today. We worked on Hexaplan for 1.5 years, and the story, which I'll explain in a second, it started basically with all the live streams that I did back in the day and still do. But back in the day, like I was basically live every day. And I got so many questions from people watching about how do I make a plan? Do I go long or short? Where do I put my stop? I'm in a losing position. What do I do? And all those type of questions basically come back to one core thing, which is how do I, do I have a plan? What's my plan? What's my trading approach? And that is where slowly the idea started to build a platform that basically helps people create a plan, right? So there are platforms out there that help you with journaling. Well, in order to journal, you basically need a plan or some sort of a trading strategy, and there is not really a platform out there that helps you step by step. So that is why we build one. So it basically helps you and guides you step by step to build a trading a plan. And then it helps you to continuously improve yourself, as well as the plan, which is, of course, what I shared earlier, what we do with HexaLoop as well. But more about this later. So I'm going to start with the following, right? While I also have chat on my screen, so don't worry, I can see you guys. But let me start with a little bit of an introduction, I suppose. So first of all, type 1 in chat if your goal is to make money in the market, right? You're here, you are watching a trading channel or an analysis channel, really, right? I mean, that's what we do on YouTube, but you probably watch other channels as well. And I can imagine your goal is not to just observe and do nothing. I can imagine the goal is to eventually do something with the information that you see. A couple of ones coming in. Mugandusi, Clinton, Odin, what's up? LaFerrari, Dilshan, Shanin, Shay. Yeah. So, we eventually would like to get some money out of the market, right? Maybe a little, maybe a lot. And everyone has some goals in mind. If I would take X amount from the market every month, I can do X, Y, Z. I can see Yanev, Legendario, Endemic. What's up, Jason? How you doing? Now, type 2 in chat if you want to have a repeatable, consistent trading system, or if you already have one, because that's the goal. When we look at some channels online, or if we observe some people in chat sometimes doing live streams, and we all know that one person, emotions can run high and people make decisions based on emotion or FOMO, or they don't really have a consistent plan, which is a problem, right? It's a problem if one does not or is not able to basically consistently execute the same thing, like same shit, different day, basically, right? So we see a couple of 2s here, 8, Kostov, Yanev, Endemic, LaFerrari, Legendario, Muganduzi, Kelvin. Yeah, so I will explain my story and why having a plan is so damn important. Now, where I am today is not where I started, and literally just before today's live stream, right? Literally just before today's live stream, let me go to the webcam actually. I asked my wife, so you just saw my Instagram, which will be relevant later, but I just asked my wife before starting this live stream to share this photo with me. Where I am today is not where I started as a trader, as a person, and this is me standing in a 30 square meter apartment in the Netherlands, which is where I'm from. This is a 30 square meter student accommodation across the Amsterdam hospital. I was studying medicine at the University of Amsterdam to become a doctor. And this was my room. Now, mind you, what you see here is it's not just my room now. It became my now wife's room as well, as she eventually moved to the Netherlands. Originally, she is South African, then went to the UK, and then came to the Netherlands. And she stayed with me, and we were like, okay, well, we're gonna manage this. But this is where I started in the Netherlands, 30 square meter apartment. And what I was doing at the time was not trading. I only got in touch with trading and analyzing the markets and Elliott waves at a later stage. So at this time, I was a professional gamer. And if I I opened some of the photos. So I was a professional gamer in Trackmania. I probably just have to scroll, but in the game Trackmania, which is a racing game. So this is my private Instagram. I just wanted to show you some of those pictures from me back in the day. And I was a professional gamer, traveling to events and playing the game Trackmania at those events. I played for Acer, well-known company. It's the one that makes the computers and stuff. So I was a professional gamer mainly. And in the Netherlands, I was the first professional gamer to be recognized as an athlete. And, you know, things were okay, but in the game Trackmania, you're not earning a lot of money. You know, my salary back in the day was $300 a month, and then it became later $1,000 because I became an ambassador for Acer in the Netherlands as well. But as a Trackmania professional gamer, you're not going to have any big bucks. And this was basically my income at the time. Now, while I was being a professional gamer, I started to get into the media and do a lot of interviews, and I was in newspapers. If you would Google my name, basically, then you will find many articles where I have interviews, like here's the news tab. So a lot of interviews that I've had over the years, over 300, 400 interviews in media, on radio, television, newspapers, and all that stuff. Now, that's not earning you money, but what it does is earn you marketing. So what happened is that thanks to this, I was asked to host a television show in the Netherlands called Inside Esports. So this is me as a host together with my co-host, and I was basically presenting this on the channel Fox Sports, well-known channel. However, it was a new show, and I did it for free. Reason being, it gives me experience. And besides me getting experience from doing this every week, actually skipping school to present every week on live television, it's also good for marketing and just general network. So I did this completely for free, didn't get paid to present on television every week hosting this show. However, because of me hosting this show, I eventually got into crypto. And my life basically started to change from the year definitely the year 2021 is where things really started to change. And then more so later. But I'll get to that in a second. So I was a host on television for free, was a gamer, not earning so much. I was a keynote speaker. I did TEDx as well and did some speaking gigs. But because of television, I eventually got into crypto. And the reason is that the basically organizer of the television show Inside Esports asked me, do you want to host a crypto show? Right? And the crypto show was called Bots TV. Let me actually show you this as well. Right? So the crypto show that I was hosting was called Bots TV. And Bots TV, so maybe we can see a photo. There's probably still some photos. So here you can see some photos from Bots TV. So this is the show that I hosted for a while. And there we are. So here you see me as the host, co-hosts as well. And we spoke about crypto, financial markets, and we spoke to some of the biggest names in the financial industry in this show. But in order for me to present this show, I needed to prepare. So I told them I need 2 months. I then studied Binance Academy, right? I can imagine it's quite a Binance Academy. It's quite an interesting place to start, I suppose. So what I did is study Binance Academy and just read about different things in my notebook. And that's when I got into touch with the charts, with Bitcoin mainly. And that was the first time I really got in touch with financial markets. Now, I was intrigued by the markets because as a professional gamer, I saw the markets as a bit of a game. Price moves up, price moves down. There must be some way of organizing this, right? And this is where I then slowly got into the markets, into Elliott waves, and many of you know the rest of basically my history in the markets. But when I started trading in the beginning, things didn't go... it wasn't easy. Mind you, that at the time, sure, I was a speaker. I wasn't a gamer anymore. I worked with other companies in gaming esports, and that was basically my income, having my own business, basically, and helping parents with gaming children and some other stuff. And, it was a decent paycheck. I kept myself afloat, and okay, that was fine. But it didn't really give me freedom. I couldn't move out of the Netherlands and do something else. I was basically stuck. I was having a job, but the job was me, basically, right? And I was doing all these things, and it was enjoyable, but it didn't really give me what I was eventually longer term actually looking for, even though I didn't know it was going to come relatively short term. So I started getting into touch with the markets in about January, February 2021, just before, the pandemic hit. And I got in touch with Elliott waves and many different tools, but Elliott waves is what grasped me in the beginning. Now, Elliott waves is basically a system by itself. However, my biggest problem in the beginning was emotion. And because of this, I needed a plan that would basically avoid me executing based on emotion. Right? So in my first year, I was collecting data on many different tools, VWAP, pivot points indicators, structures in Elliott waves, all sorts of different stuff, candlestick patterns. I made notes. I have tons of notes. And at some point in my first year, I gave up. For 2 months, I quit because I couldn't make it work. I was losing all the time. I just didn't get it, right? I didn't get it. It wasn't working. I was trying different things, but I didn't manage to figure something out. And I didn't have a mentor or someone that was able to guide me into things. I just did everything online for on YouTube and just reading articles. And that's how I studied Elliott waves and all of that stuff. So I got in touch with different tools, but I gave up for 2 months. Then I came back again because I was drawn to the markets. Maybe that's my gamer background. And I continued. And what I did different when I came back is, besides collecting data, I started to select my favorite tools and then collect data on the combination of the tools. So I knew about a lot of different tools, Elliott waves being one. But then I was like, well, let's combine a couple of things, right? And this is where slowly things started to change. I continued testing. I continued creating a plan, which for me, hopefully, was going to help me avoid emotional mistakes. And I think that's something that's not really talked about enough in the markets, is you can have the best plan, right? But if your plan is not helping you to keep your emotions in check when trading, which inevitably emotions are going to be part of trading, if you don't have a plan that helps you cope with that stuff, it's a problem, right? You can have the best plan, but if your emotion is shit, you're still going to lose. So you want a plan that also helps you to stabilize your emotions when executing, exiting, managing, and those type of things. So that is what I then started to focus on. And the reason why is because I wanted to get rid of that emotion and trade the markets almost like a robot. Now, at some point, I got in touch with CVD. Many of you actually know CVD because I often show it as well. And now it's on my screen here. So CVD, right? Got in touch with CVD. And this was one of the best tools I ever found. Templates and stuff are in Discord if you're interested. So based on CVD, I was like, well, I can combine some Elliott wave knowledge with CVD, make a plan around all of this and horizontal levels. And that's then also what I did. And I did that, and it went unexpectedly well, to a certain degree that I was like, you know what? It goes so well. I think I can help people create their own plans because I now have my plan and it's working for me. Right? And that is when eventually I launched the Diamond membership, which is not alive anymore, but this is, you know, from the Diamond members, the OGs that were still here in the group as well. But I launched the Diamond membership. I explained some of the strategies that I developed, and people were allowed to trade them. I was confident because it was based on data. I know it works, right? And in theory, everyone can use it. So then what happened is people started using it, and one of the people was Jarvis as well, always sharing his data as well. I was collecting data and sharing data as well. And this strategy that I developed here, CVD Strat 1 and 2, in 4 months from, and here you can see it, November 2023 to February 18th, 2024, eventually gave 51 trades in 4 months with an RR profit of 74. Win rate about 70%. Right? Total trades 51. And then you have Solana trades here as well, right? On different assets. You have Ethereum, Bitcoin, everything combined. Right? So there's a lot of data that was shared by Jarvis, by others, by myself about the strategy, and it worked. And this for me was proof that if you have a plan based on data, you can make trading work. But it's not easy to collect the data by yourself, because it's a wild west, no? But data avoids emotion because you can just follow the plan. And members in Diamond, including Jarvis and others, managed to make it work. Now then, I decided to make some videos on YouTube on how to create a trading plan. So if you go to the playlist here, things you should know about as a trader, I have Trading for Beginners, 6 steps, and some about psychology. Funny enough, these are some of the worst viewed videos, even though most of the most important content, arguably, on my YouTube channel, right? But still, we got questions about building a plan, where stop loss, this and that, this and that. And this is then where Hexaplan comes around. Because nowadays, right, having that plan gives me a certain amount of freedom because I was able to trade. Let me remove this. I actually want to show the other one. Yeah. So because I'm able to be in the markets, have a consistent plan, right? I have nowadays there's multiple plans, but back in the day started with one. But because of being able to have a data-based plan, I was able to not live in the Netherlands anymore, but move to the south of France, where we live now. This is my wife, Ashley, then girlfriend, right? We're together for like 8 years now. Because of ruling my own agenda, I worked out more. I went from 62 kgs to now 70 kgs. Right? So gain muscle, can spend time with friends, spend time with family here in Monaco on the jet ski. So basically, I'm not like saying the trader lifestyle is, you know, being on your jet ski, opening your phone, taking a trade, and then making money and continue jet skiing. Absolutely not, because I work very hard in this room. However, I choose to do so, right? And hopefully more people are able to choose what they enjoy doing when they can get a consistent plan working in the market. So you can choose what you want to do. You know, I didn't want to go speaking across the globe all the time and be gone for a week. And it's nice, but it takes a lot of time. And nowadays, I also have a family, right? With my wife, we have a little kid. I don't want to be gone all the time. Right? I want to be home. I want to spend time with my family, want to travel, want to be able to see people whenever I want to. This is Robert Prechter. He is the writer of the Elliott Wave Principle, right? So being able to do these things and work on projects that I enjoy, book 1 coming, of course, that is what is most fun. I have the freedom to do what I want. And that's because there is a consistent plan. And this is what hopefully people aim to achieve. So then the question basically is, right, for yourself, is if you are able to have a consistent, repeatable plan, what do you want to do? What's your goal in the market? People are in this market, they're trading, some big, some small. But if you would have a consistent, repeatable plan, and maybe you do, but what do you do? What are you going to do? Are you going to live somewhere else? Are you going to do more activities, spend more time with your kid? I don't know, buy a Lambo, right? For me, I really prioritize freedom. So I like to spend time with people and be able to have time, basically. That's the biggest asset you can have in life, in my opinion. But what would be something that you have as a goal if you're able to make money from the market, right? What are you looking to do? Holiday in Nice. That's very nice. South of France is very nice. I can agree there. So, what's your goal? What do you want to do? If you make money from the markets, where is that money going? Where is it going? What do? You want more time? Do what you want to do? Lay on the beach? I don't know. Spend time with family? What's the goal? Holiday to Nice. Neo, financial freedom. Financial freedom can be being free, like it's a good answer, I suppose. There's a lot to financial freedom. That's for another thing. I want to escape South Africa. Take care of my mother. Now, that's a nice one. That's a big goal. Spend more time with my family. Driving lessons. Do some races. Ooh, I love racing. Spend more time with family and taking care of my mother. That's very nice. 3K monthly, freedom lifetime. Absolutely doable. Time for my family. Build wells in my village. Actually, let me just put this on the stream here as well. Time. I would probably put it in a house, car, doing nice things with the family. Financial freedom, stop working 6 to 5. 6 to 5, not even 9 to 5. Damn. Damn. I mean, maybe also like if you do what you love doing, you might actually work longer hours, but you're not feeling like you're working. You know what I mean? That's what I have. Like I can sit on the beach as well, but I love making content, love being active in the group and doing the projects, Elliott Waves. It's a choice. But because it's a choice, right? It's not forced. That's a nice goal. Hope more people will think crypto is dead. The market will go again. Okay. Lol. Traveling is a nice one. I put it in the house and make sure my mom was good first. Next, you already know. I do, because Jason, maybe Abandoned, and myself met each other in America. To trade successfully and extensively in order to help people, to build schools and feed the hungry. That's a big goal as well. Now, hold on to those goals, because those are also, of course, motivation. So with that in mind, if those are some of the goals that you have, having a consistent, repeatable plan helps. Now, I've built a couple of consistent, repeatable plans, and actually after this live stream, I want to build another consistent, repeatable plan in Elite, which is the membership on Hexaplan, because Hexaplan here is designed to help people create a plan. So this is the HexaLoop. Let's start here. And Hexaplan is a platform that helps you create a consistent, repeatable strategy. Now, it doesn't mean you're not going to do anything. But what it does is it guides you in creating a plan. And you'll be able to create a good plan, consistently repeatable plan in a short amount of time, because you're supported throughout the journey. Now, once you then create the strategy, right, we get to execution, journal, analyzing, and then eventually that's the improvement, right? We're always improving. Now, step one is creating the plan, which is not this one. Where is my create the plan? I think I actually made a little oopsie here. So let me change the photo. This one here. And ta-da! So there we go. So in order to create a plan, there is 6 steps. And these are the 6 that you can see. Let me shortly remove my webcam. So we have choose your tools, validate with data, build your edge, set your rules, trading psychology, and then eventually you get to improvement. Now in the platform, if we go to Hexaplan, this is what you see when you log in. Now this account is an example account that we made specifically for this live stream. Right? It's also called YouTube 10K Capital because it's for this live stream to show you around. This is what you see when you basically log in for the first time, which may look familiar compared to what else you see maybe online. Couple of data, bit of like some calendar and those type of things. Now this is then eventually where the magic happens. On the left top here, we have the button New Strategy, and that is where it starts. And if we look at the HexaLoop, it starts with create a strategy. And if you already have a strategy, right, then you basically continue with execute. So you don't need to create a strategy. You can if you want, but then you start with execute. And then you can basically go into the loop and continuously improve. Now, when we build a new strategy, there is basically 6 steps as shown that you will go through. And it starts with selecting a tool. Now, if there is a tool missing or, you know, something is not, just let us know. And we will edit, right? Absolutely no problem. There's already a lot of stuff in here, but absolutely no problem. So for example, we are looking to maybe create a strategy with support resistance levels, Fibonacci, and maybe we are looking for something else. Maybe we want some RSI in there as well, right? So we can select many different tools. These are the ones we select in this example here. We continue to step number 2. Now in step number 1, mind you, this is another button. In step number 1, it's about selecting some of your favorite tools. What's interesting to you, right? Of course, for me, Elliott waves, but that's why I don't want to do it in this example. So support resistance, Fibonacci, RSI. And then eventually we go to step 2. Now in step 2, the goal is to test these tools and build a little bit of data on these tools specifically. Right? Now, this is incredibly simple because basically what the platform helps you do here is create a test, which I'll do in a second, and then you just click yes or no. For example, with Fibonacci, you can have questions like, is the 382 acting as support? The 0.5, the 618, the 786, the 886. If you're using Fibonacci, you want to collect data on, okay, where is it most likely price is bouncing? If it is bouncing at the 618, how far does it usually go? A little bit of data in maybe a certain environment, bullish, bull market, ranging environment, bearish market, or just general. So what we can do is we can add a test, for example, for the Fib. We can have a statement that says the 618, or maybe just for you, golden pocket, acted as support on Bitcoin. You can take anything here. So we have a yes or no question or multiple choice if you want that. And then we have some details. We just call it test and then save test. Now what then happens is whenever we look at the chart, and we can back test, we can forward test, of course, you go to TradingView or Wave Charts, which is online soon as well. And then we just check yes or no. And we just literally click yes or no. Now what the platform makes you do is you need at least 30 observations to continue to the next step. And the reason for this is that if you build a plan that is data-driven, which I recommend everyone to do anyway, you need at least 30 observations of a hypothesis or a question, because otherwise there's no real skin in, like, do you really know if it works? Preferably, you go to 50 or even 100 observations, but the minimum that we selected is 30. Right? Now we can do this for everything. Support resistance can be daily naked point of control, right? DMPOC bounce over 1%. Right? On Bitcoin test, we do another yes, no question. So we just, we fold this one and we go to support resistance. So we do a little bit of yes, no, right? Of course, this is an example. We have RSI. Maybe you use RSI divergence. RSI divergence created bounce, whatever it is you use. I don't really use RSI myself, but you will be able to create a better statement, of course, if you do. So you create a statement, you go into TradingView, you backtest, right? You can be done with this in a day, okay? So we have a couple of statements. Now, you can have, of course, multiple tests, hypotheses, statements per indicator. That's also the goal. So you start to learn what works and what doesn't. Back in the day, I used a ton of Excel sheets. Gets very messy. And that is why in Hexaplan, we have it like this. Nice overview. So you have multiple statements. You test, okay, how does this work? For example, with fibs, as explained, is the 382 acting as support, right? Or the 05, 618, 786, 886. Maybe you think the 618 and Golden Pocket is the best support, but maybe in your case, with what you are developing, it might be the 786, because you might eventually go with the 786 and some other tool. And then we go to the next step. And in the next step, the goal is to start creating the strategy and check risk reward and profit and those type of things. Now, I won't really go into great detail because we're going to go or stay here for a very long time. But basically, based on the tools, you can be like, well, Fibonacci and support resistance had very good results, but my RSI as a tool did not really create great results for me. So I only want to continue with Fib and support resistance. Okay, cool. Right. BTC and give it a name. Hi, YouTube. And then what we do here is the same thing, but now we're looking to find our best risk to reward. So we don't want to be random. We don't want to leave anything for a chance. If we enter, we basically already want to know that's my target. Remember when I spoke about my strategy in the Diamond membership? CVD Strat 1 is always a 1 to 3 RR from the moment of entry. Always, because based on the data, 1 to 3 delivers the best result over time. Not 1 to 2. I don't TP 1 to 2 or 1 to 1 or 1 to 4 or 1 to 10, unrelated to impulse, correction, blah, 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 blah. It's 1 to 3. Because based on the data, that's the best profit. And we don't want to mess around with the data or have emotion make decisions. Trust the data. And here we want to figure out what's the best RR. What's the win rate, right? There's different methods that you can use to do research. You can read about this or ask questions, of course, in Hexaplan or in our Discord. We have a Hexaplan Discord as well. So we have our strategy. And then in this case, we want to do research again. So we're going to do research on the strategy, call it test here. We're going to do like, what are we going to do? Take profit R, maybe 3, stop loss placement. If you have any particular placement, you can write it here. So maybe we say below the low or high, if you use CVD, for example. Save the tracker. And then here we go again. You basically collect data, right? So we once more collect data. You need at least 30 observations. Once more, preferably, you have a lot more observations. Multiple tests. This is also easily, again, doable in a day's time. You are able to build a strategy from 0 to 100 in 7 days. If you have an incredibly complex strategy, yeah, it will take you longer. It might take you a couple of months. Right? It also depends if you have a full-time job, yes or no, of course. But the platform guides you through the steps. We continue to the next step, which is where we then write the rules, stop loss, take profit rules, management rules. This is where your strategy becomes a reality. Because based on the data, you now know if the 618 is in confluence with a daily naked point of control, and maybe in your case, there's an RSI divergence, that's the entry. Now, I didn't select RSI actually in step 3, but imagine we have rule 1, entry rule is 618 touch. Add a rule, RSI divergence. Add a rule, DMPOC touch, right? Stop loss rule. Maybe we say, based on our test, a approach. Well, that's the test we did that earlier. Strategy summary is optional. Now, what we can do now is, first of all, save the strategy, but also if, oops, I went here, go back. I can download the one pager. So let me just download this. And there we go. we now have a one-pager that we can print, put on our desk, so we don't forget about our trading plan. So we have a one-pager with the entry rules, stop loss, take profit, trade management, and everything. It's all here, and some notes in case you want some space for notes as well. And then in the next step, we work on psychology. We create psychology plans in this case. Maybe fear of losing is something you're struggling with. We have an example on how this basically works, right? How you go through these steps. I won't really do it right now. But psychology to us is very important, and it is part of creating a trading plan. So, and then eventually, maybe I forgot something, but then eventually we want to complete the item. Don't really know why I can't complete the item. You would. But basically, we have our psychology, and then we have the risk and survival tab here as well, where you can do multiple calculations. So you can have maybe based on your strategy, your win rate might be 60%, right? If you have 100 trade sample size with a win rate of 60% based on your strategy, the chance of having a losing streak of 5 is still 62%. So now you realize as well that, well, if I have a strategy with a win rate of 60%, I know I can get a losing streak of 5 times in a row. 62% of there's a 62% chance out of 100 trades I have a losing streak of 5, which means you don't give up on your strategy when you lose 5 times in a row, or maybe even 6 times, right? So there's a couple of things you can do here, a couple of tips, a couple of tests and simulations that you can run. Not this one though, apparently. So return home. Strategies, YouTube hello. We just got to continue where we left off. It's interesting, of course, before the live stream, you know, everything works. And then, but Jeroen will watch here and we'll fix it on the can't complete items with example info in step 2. Okay, got it. Now, then we have finally survival rules, risk per trade, 1%, maybe your maximum daily loss, maximum losing streak, and then your cooldown duration. If things go wrong, what do you do, right? Maybe you cool down for 1 day. You log these parameters, go to step 6, which is the arena. And then here, you basically give yourself awards for execution. And the main goal is that you execute based on your plan. So the main, like an important component of Hexaplan is plan adherence. How good do you stick to your trading plan, right? So then we have the strategy created. We basically go to execute. And execution, we have also here different thing. I'm not sure why my OBS with the videos, with the photos is not doing an amazing job, but here we go, execute. So in Hexaplan, what we developed is basically a 3-step system, daily plan, hexa charts coming soon, and then eventually add trade. So we go to the website again. We click on execute. So this is the general dashboard. You can completely customize the dashboard. Everything that you see here, you can make it invisible. You can change stuff, whatever. Right? You can also, if you don't like to see money, you can also put everything on percentages, because some people emotionally are affected by dollar signs. So you can also put everything on percentages, and then everything from your statistics to whatever is shown in percentages as well if you go to the data later. So if you go to execute, then here you have your daily plan and routine. So every day or on your trading days, you fill out the trading plan. You can select your strategy. You can create a trading view link, maybe like put a position calculator on the chart and all of the good stuff. And then eventually you go next. So maybe we are bullish today, choppy price action, ranging price action, trending, whatever is happening. Keynotes over here. We can upload a photo if we wish to, and then we can go to the next window, number 2, risk and psychology. So here we go in a little bit more detail to show you exactly what the plan is. Then eventually you get to setups here. Right? What's the setup that you are looking for on that day, right? You can select your strategy, and then eventually we get to review and confirm, finalize the daily plan. With this daily plan, you now in the morning, this is why I every day do a morning routine video in the Elite membership, by the way, which basically shows me going through my routine, going through my analysis, what opportunities I see and look for. That's basically creating my daily plan, which I then do after on paper. Like this is the paper. So creating a daily plan helps you in the morning to know what you're looking for later on that day. And basically, you're mentally already prepared that if this happens, I do that based on my strategy. I know the stop loss, know this, and everything is basically ready. So you have your strategy, you create your daily plan, mentally ready. If this happens, I do that. No? And then once you eventually have your plan, you can finalize. I didn't fill in all of the things, but you can finalize your daily plan. And then by the end of the trading day, if anything happened, right, or not, doesn't matter, but you can review the trading plan and then basically write notes on what happened that day, what went well, what didn't go well, how was my psychology, a lot of data you can put in the platform, which of course it will return to you in the Analyze tabs. And with that, eventually comes improvement, but more about that in a second. Now, a couple of routines that you may have that you want to check in the beginning. I think this for me is very important. Right? So pre-trade routines, maybe in the morning, you want to check the economic calendar, you want to mark your levels, formulate your plan, do your Elliott wave analysis, whatever. Post-trade routine, did you make sure to log your trade, screenshots, right? Whatever. You can add a ritual, you can customize this as well. Now, Hexa Charts is coming soon. So Hexa Charts is going to be a charting platform like TradingView, but it is fully related to Hexaplan and developed in-house by ourselves. So it's TradingView, but then for Hexaplan, where you see the chart of different assets, the position calculator immediately communicates with the platform, with the software, with your daily plan, etc. Right? So basically, if something happens on the chart and you execute a trade, the position calculator maybe on the chart starts running because of the entry, and everything that happens on the chart gets communicated to the system. But that's something we're working on, but it is coming soon. So this is like the execution tab. We then have the journal tab here as well. Right, so here you can see daily review. So we have reviewed trades. This is again example, right? So you can see your trades here, see what happened. You have your plan adherence, which for us is very important. And we basically have a bit of a gamification system that if you stick to your plan, you get more points, right? And with those points come rewards that you decide on yourself. Did you stick to your strategy rules? How was your psychology and execution? A couple of questions over here. And then you can complete the trade review. And you do that for every trade because trading is a business. Right? We want to do this for every trade. Now here's your daily review tab. Right? So maybe today you had a trade, you have your daily review. Did you follow your plan today? Yes, partly, no, or maybe no plan. And it's really important people fill this in because everything you put in here, this takes 2 minutes. It may sound like a lot with execute. The daily plan here in execute, you are through this in less than 5 minutes. You do your daily review here in less than 2 minutes. Right? Did you follow your plan? Yes. How was your psychology? Well, maybe I was tired. I wasn't very focused because I was tired, maybe frustrated. Right. Best decision today, worst decision. Maybe my best decision today was to the execution was good. That was my best. Worst decision was that I left the chart when I had to put my stop loss break even according to plan, so I didn't do it. Right? What stood out today? Reminder for tomorrow, right? Different things. And then eventually trades taken today, you can add them, those are added in the daily plan, but then they come down here. Goals, maybe you have certain goals. You want to pass a prop firm. You want to have a win rate of over 60%. And then we have the trades list. Complete list of all the trades. Now, you can export or import your trades from different platforms, supported platforms, by a CSV file. And then they get in here. And you can also, per trade, check some of the stuff here. And you can see that what's very important to us, again, is did you stick to your plan? We're focused on the plan. We're not really focused on necessarily P&L and that stuff. It's about the plan. Follow the plan. Right? And then we get to performance. So we went through journal here. Then we get to performance. And performance is this one over here. So I'm just doing this on the fly. If we want to improve, we have to understand where things go right and where things go wrong. So if you have your plan that you created, you execute in the market, you fill in the data, no? Things get communicated to you in different reports to help you understand what goes right, what goes wrong, where can you improve, well, because the goal is to get even better. So we have here core metrics, risks and drawdown, breakdown analysis, and you have a Hexaplan performance score as well to show you how you're doing. So here's the reports tab. And you can see there's different tabs here at the top. You know, there's a lot going on here, but basically this is where all of your stuff can be seen. All right. So a lot of different information, average P&L, win rate, average R, trade count, lots of information about your strategy. I have a couple of strategies that we tested already. We made the YouTube Hello strategy earlier. Of course, we didn't execute it, right? There's another YouTube strat here, which is the example account, which I'm on now. I have Jeroen is married as a test. We had that as a test as well. So yeah, you get a lot of different data here that will help you understand what's going on. The performance score will let you know where your weaknesses are related to the other factors here. Risk and drawdown, weekly reports, your general metrics tab, which is standard for really anything. And then we have a calendar functionality as well, where you can see here, this is the year 2026, but I can also do it by month, by day, even by hour to see, okay, by hour, which hour of the day is my performance the best, right? If I am really, really good on a Wednesday here at noon, well, maybe my strategy just, maybe it works there. And if I really suck on Friday, 6 p.m., maybe I should avoid this because I already have multiple losses there, right? While I have many winners here. So based on this, you can learn to, or you can improve your system based on all of the data. Well, it works really good on Wednesdays, but it doesn't really work nicely on Fridays, which might just be the session, whatever. But if you learn about this, getting these insights, you then, well, I might as well trade on Wednesdays and just do something else on Friday. Profit goes up and we have less work. Hexaplan tutorial list coming? Yes, absolutely. Right. Now then we have Chart Lab as well, where you can create your own charts. So the reports section here is different charts. Of course, you can like customize the charts with the buttons here as well, right? And different things. No. However, in Chart Lab, you can create your own chart. You can create a chart type. You can create metrics here as well, right? Different things. You can play around with this to understand how this then works. And you can basically create any custom chart based on data to, again, learn about your behavior, your psychology, your plan, your strategy. So it's really geared towards your plan, your psychology, and improving this over time. Now, related to psychology, we have to go to the next photo, which is this one. So for us, plan adherence is very important, adherence analysis. Then we have emotion patterns, context behavior, and then we have, again, a psychology score, a Hexaplan score. But this time it's a psychology score. So we go to psychology, and then here you can see a couple of tabs, right? This account, psychology score of 80, but again, it's just an account as an example. But basically here we have psychology tags, plan adherence, and review depth. You can see here the explanations below. Plan adherence means how good do you follow your plan? You got to be honest with yourself. Did you follow it to the T? Did you make a mistake? Did emotion get the best of you? Whatever it is. Right? Psychology tags is that when you trade and you review your trade and you put it in the system, you can have the psychology tags like, well, I felt tired, or FOMO, or like other psychology issues, both positive and negative, actually, right? Positive can be I was calm, I was focused. Negative, the FOMO, the this, or that. So you fill that in as well, which gets all combined into this score. And then we have the review depth here as well, right? Which basically tells you, did you close or did you fill in the psychology tags when you review the trades? Because we need you guys, or I mean, you do it for yourself in the end, not for me. But if you want to have a solid psychology score, you want to write down or tick those psychology tags. And review depth is only here to make people do it, to get an accurate psychology score. Because if you fill in traits, but you miss out on adding, I was calm, or I was nervous, I didn't feel good, I was tired, my dog distracted me, whatever it is. But if you don't write that down, it will hurt your score. Every trade has psychology, either positive or negative. It doesn't matter. But we got to fill it in, right? Otherwise, no psychology score. And then we can see also how the psychology score moves in time, how it's related maybe to your P&L as well, right? How it is related to your win rate. Maybe if your psychology score, in other words, if things go bad and your score goes down, that may affect your win rate. Maybe your win rate goes down as well, right? Maybe your P&L curve then starts to go down as well. So you can analyze how your psychology is influencing your trading results. Now here we have some psychology plans, which comes from creating your strategy, but you can also, if you already have an existing strategy, you can just create a new psychology plan here, right? The strategy, you just select the one that you have, right? And then eventually you can just fill all of this in and you basically create your own psychology plan, right? And you can view related trades with that. So I like FOMO, right? FOMO apparently is losing me money in this example account, okay? View the related trades. What trades were FOMO trades? And then you can review those type of trades and improve your execution. Psychology tags, different tags and how they relate to P&L, win rate, plan adherence, right? So you have calm, focused, FOMO, positives and negatives, green and red, how they relate, how your psychology relates to your P&L, to your win rate, to your trade count. Right? Maybe with FOMO, you trade a lot because, you know, you're like always trying to catch the move. While if you're calm, maybe in your case, you take very few trades. Right? You'll be able to analyze that here. Execution issues, enter too early, broke rules, oversized position. Again, you select this while you, in a few minutes, go through the daily review. It looks like a lot, but it's a few minutes of work every day, besides trading, of course, to get all of the data. And then we have plan adherence, right? Followed the plan, no plan, or I broke the plan. And then how does it relate to maybe my P&L, right? My trade count, etc., all of the data. So this is the HexaLoop in Hexaplan. This is what the platform is based on. The HexaLoop is create a strategy, or maybe you already have an existing strategy. If that's the case, that's fine. You can start with execute and continue, or you can improve your strategy by still going through the create strategy section, because in the end, from the improve logo on the left, right, you can still go to create strategy to improve the strategy and then go down to execute and go in the loop again and just keep improving. So this is what the platform is based on. And then there's a couple of extra things that are for us that I find relevant, like the calendar here. We also have dark mode and light mode, obviously. An overview of all the different strategies. You can see how much test strategies I have. Jeroen has a lot more as well. So, you know, your strategies are here. I can click on YouTube Hello and go to the page where my strategy is shown with the rules, the strategy score here. If I start executing, I get a lot of data here on the different strategy. All right. So let's go to this one. Overview. So you get some information on that particular strategy, unrelated to maybe other strategies that you execute on. Right? So you can get specific data on this, right? All the different tabs. Portfolio tab shows your portfolio, how things are going. Of course, there is an equity curve, right? You can add win rate here as well. You can add closed trades and whatnot. Like you can add different things. Like, yeah, okay, well, all sorts of stuff going on here. You can add an account. If you have another trading account, you just add another account, because here you can click on the arrow, multiple accounts come out. A couple of insights that you get from the platform as well. Eventually, we will have AI coming as well. We're working on this in the background. We have a notes tab where you can create notes like journal, just get stuff out of your head. You can create a note, maybe categorize it in a folder if you want to, give it a couple of tags in order to find them later, and you can just write your notes. You can also make folders here and add the folder and then drag, or actually just put notes in the folder. Community tab, in case you want to communicate on the platform. We also have a Discord channel. Jeroen can surely share Discord in the YouTube chat. So we have a Discord as well here. Let me show you. In Discord, we have Hexaplan. Let me shortly move from, because I'm in the team chat. So it just launched right here. So in Hexaplan, we have general chat, support, feedback. We listen to you guys. Jeroen is very quick with innovating and improving different things as well. And then we have the other tools section with lots of different things that maybe you find interesting. A prop firm ROI calculator or position size calculator if you struggle with how to position size your trade. You have leverage calculators, risk of ruin, all of those things, and the admin tab, which is not for you. Now, when we then log out, of course, this is the homepage. It's live now, right? It's all live, and here you can see the pricing. So we have two plans. We have free and we have the Founder Pro. Founder Pro is only here for the next 14 days or only the first 100 people registering. And you might be one of the 100 today or not. It goes quite quickly. You wouldn't send me a DM, but still, like, we have Founder Pro, we have free. You can check it out for free. There's absolutely no, like, we are not a platform compared to many, which is also what we wanted, that requires you to subscribe in order to get to the back end. You can start for free, you can hang around, mess around, see what's going on, and then eventually always go to Founder Pro, or at least it won't be Founder Pro by then anymore. But Founder Pro is now here. It's $29 a month based on the beta testers and the feedback that we received from the beta testers on pricing and doing some market research. This was a good place to start. And after 14 days or after the first 100 people registering, it will be $39 per month, right? And of course, if you're a Founder Pro, you will pay $29 a month as long as, or the investment is $29 a month, as long as you are enjoying Hexaplan. Here's a list of all the features. And, you know, I try to show a lot of things that we have in the backend. There is, of course, even more. I didn't go through detail everywhere. You know, play around with it, create the strategy, ask questions in Discord. There will also be a complete tutorial playlist where I make content on Hexaplan and the features in the background and how to use it, how to do things. And yeah, we have a yearly option, of course, as well as the monthly option for the ones that want to just go yearly, and that's that. And yeah, so Hexaplan is, again, a platform that helps you create a trading strategy, or if you have one, it helps you to improve and create insights on your plan. And with your existing strategy, I'm sure you can still improve it in a way, so you can still go through the 6 steps as well to improve your trading plan. And I feel like actually my OBS is struggling here. So you can still go through the 6 steps, even when you have an existing strategy, because pretty sure there is a way to improve it. No strategy is perfect. There's always something that can be improved, that can be tracked. There's always data to use and to gather. So yeah, this is Hexaplan, and it is live from today. So and 14 days means that from the middle of this month, the Founder Pro goes out till July 14th, and then we go to the normal pricing, $39. So this is what we've been working on the past, well, minimum 1.5 years. So we've been developing this platform mainly based on a lot of requests and people asking about just trading questions. How do I develop a plan? Where to put stop loss? Where to take profit? This, that. I'm in losing position. I don't know So hopefully you're going to enjoy it. Again, if there are questions, please just join the Discord and ask us. We are there. We are incredibly fast to reply. Jeroen, who is he's in the chat as well. Jeroen Wening 1555, right? He is the brain, the guy that does the coding, right? So I'm like the vision guy, and I know exactly like I want this or this or this to this. He is the big brain on the background. He is incredibly quick with your feedback. The beta testers already know this as well, and the pricing was based on the beta testers. And yeah, thanks to them as well for helping us develop Hexaplan as it is today. And we will also, of course, continue to develop Hexaplan moving forward, because we're not going to stand still and do nothing. With feedback coming in, maybe I find another bug tomorrow, whatever. We are on it, and yeah, we are we are there for you. Well, so if there are any questions, then please ask them. I'm here to answer any questions that you may have. Of course, there were occasionally questions asked from beta members, right? But yeah, if there's any questions, let me know. Thank you. Wait, is my on? So yeah, cheers, Grants. But yeah, pleasure, Janif. A SaaS founder. Yeah, I know. Can you explain the 6 strategies? The strategies that I have here are just examples to test the platform. So I have many strategies here, but these were made to test the 6-step builder that we have to create a strategy. So yeah, if we add a strategy, you basically go through 6 steps, and it guides you as explained earlier in the stream. So you can go back in the stream, but this basically guides you through 6 steps to develop a consistent, repeatable trading plan. That's the goal. And then once you have the plan, you need to have a way of like a daily approach to use the plan, execute, and then receive data to improve it, which is where the rest comes in. And this is also, again, why we have the HexaLoop. You create the strategy, and then we get to execute, journal, analyze, performance, and psychology, which then helps to improve you or improve the system and you as a trader. Right? That's very, very important to us. So yeah. Is there any way to access the CVD thread? Not anymore. That was diamond back in the day. No. I also think that nowadays the important goal that we have is to help people find their own strategies and what works for them. So everyone is different. We'll have different amount of time. Some people need a 50-minute strategy. Other people need a weekly investment strategy, or some people need a 4-hour swing trading strategy. Some people work full days. Other people don't. So some people like to scalp. Some people like to day trade. Some people use CVD like myself, but other people hate CVD because it just doesn't work or they don't get it, right? And they want to use other tools. Some people use the VWeb, other people don't, like I don't, even though I did collect data on it back in the day, to be honest. Yeah, the main goal is that you as a trader find your strategy that works for you and is consistent, is repeatable. And besides just focusing on the technicals, we also have step 5, focusing on psychology, so that you also work on the psychology. And it's not like we are psychologists, but psychology is an incredibly important part of trading. And more often than not, a losing trade is because you mess up with psychology, not because of your plan. YouTube, hello. Oh, I just made, I don't know, Momtaz, maybe when you joined, but YouTube, hello, is, I just did this as an example just now. So I went basically through the 6 steps. This is the arena here. But basically what I did is I went through the 6 steps on the stream and show a little bit how it works. Very simplistic, but show you how creating a strategy works. And like creating a strategy, like back in the day, took me months to get the CVD Strat 1 and eventually CVD Strat 2, but I mean months, might be close to a year to create it, because I didn't know where to start and how to approach it, and creating all the Excel sheets and this and that. And it's also the name of the live stream, of course, is that this is a tool that would have avoided a lot of mistakes because it's a lot quicker, it's guided, you can ask questions to me or other people, right? It's just a step-by-step approach, and it shortens the time it takes to create a strategy. With this, if you have a strategy that's simple, right? Maybe the golden pocket with a trend line, or golden pocket CVD and a horizontal level, like a daily or weekly, or maybe daily naked point of controls and just volume levels in general, you can collect that data, be done in a week, have a consistent, repeatable, profitable strategy. Yeah. So it's because the tools are there, right, and the guidance is there, it saves a lot of time. Greetings from Koenz. Will the platform have support for those of us who don't speak English? Yes, not yet. So the focus now is English, but we will translate this into other languages in the future. We're just not there yet because the launch is primarily English, as most of the audience is English. But then we will implement other languages, and we will start with the bigger ones. So the bigger languages globally will be implemented first, before maybe then going to the smaller languages, depending on the requests that we get. Like, we can do the whole platform in Dutch, but most of the Dutch people actually speak very good English. So, maybe we never get the question to use Dutch. But at some point we will use or implement different languages, yes. But at the moment it's English. Everything that you see is focused on people that are able to use English. Of course, you can translate the page. Right? You can do right mouse click and then translate the page to maybe Spanish or French or wherever you are from. And then your browser will translate the page. I use this all the time because I live in France, but I'm not too good in France yet, in French. So, of course, that's a way to use it in the short term till eventually your language of choice or just the language you use on a daily basis gets implemented. Yeah. Yeah. If there's any other questions, let me know. Also, Jeroen, could you, maybe we have to post a link to actually Hexaplan in, let me just do that here. I'll probably have to pin it, no? At least people that know where. Can the platform, 1 second, it says message pinned. I can't actually see them, see the comment. Can platform give the level, or we have to subscribe to you for separate membership? No, the Hexaplan is completely unrelated to, like, I'm just one of the people that made Hexaplan, but Hexaplan is not related to the memberships of Koenz Trading or the compendium. Maybe at some point, but we're not there yet. Maybe at some point, if people become a member, they also have a discount or for Hexaplan, or they get access to Hexaplan for free. But for now, we're just launching Hexaplan as is, and we can look at combinations and packages at a later stage. But you don't need any membership, Koenz Trading membership, to use this. It's completely separate, right? Yeah. And yeah, what's up, Mark? How you doing, man? Nice to see you here. How you doing? Welcome. I can go through a couple of questions that that we have received over time. So, a question that, of course, we sometimes get is, what if I already have a strategy? Well, if you already have a strategy, you can use this as a journaling software. However, the big difference is that a strategy can always be improved. And this platform will guide you towards improving the strategy by showing you by data what's good, what's not, right? What can be improved. And then once you find things that can be improved, you go to plus new strategy. You then select the tools that you already use, or maybe based on the data, you may have to remove one tool. And then you can basically go through the 6 steps to innovate and improve your existing strategy. Right? So even if you have an existing strategy, you can just use everything you want on Hexaplan. But then based on the data, you will find out what goes right, what goes wrong. And then in order to improve that strategy, what you can do is go through the 6 steps, select the tools that you use, and then just collect the data and then innovate your strategy and improve it, make it even better. So that's a question we often had. Another one, like, what if I don't have a strategy yet? Just start with new strategy. Right? So that's what of course is an important part of the platform. Is if you don't have a strategy, just click on new strategy and create it. Is Hexaplan only for advanced traders or only for beginning traders? That's something that sometimes was asked as well. But it's for both. Right now, if you are a beginning trader, I really recommend working on creating a plan before starting to trade, because the chances of you losing money are very high if you don't have a plan. And you want to, of course, reduce your school fees as much as possible. So before you get consistently profitable, you want to lose the least amount of money. Instead, you want to educate yourself and create plans, systems, research, read, watch content, whatever it is that helps you improve as a trader. Now, if you are an advanced trader, right, you probably know the markets and different things that are out there. And advanced traders, as mentioned, have a strategy, but this platform can give you, compared to what's out there, can give you information specifically on how to improve your strategy, and then has a system, the 6 steps, to help you innovate and improve the existing system, because a strategy can always be improved. There's no strategy that has a 100% win rate, but we can try to get as close as possible. Is there an option to tie it to a YouTube membership or get a discount if you support the channel, for example? That is something we're looking for later, but we don't have a timeline for that in particular. At the moment, this is just separate, and at some stage we will, when the platform and everything it's already good to go, but we focus on the platform first, and at some point we will think about, okay, if you are a Koenz trading member, then you get discount on Hexaplan. When you are a wave chart, many people actually ask me about the new charting platform that I'm using, which is wave charts. So this is something we develop ourselves as well. It's completely in-house. Hexa charts will be something similar, but then focused on, related to the platform and plans. But for example, once eventually wave charts goes live, which has a lot of Elliott wave related stuff that are incredibly relevant to people doing Elliott wave analysis, it's focused, it's made with the Elliott wave analyst in mind. And it can show you all the targets of waves, projections, and whatnot. Like there's a lot that one can do. Let me just toggle all the shenanigans on here. For example, different boxes, information. Not even sure if you can see everything here on the right, but information on structures, predictions as well. Where is that? Like if you select, wave 1 is 5 waves, wave 2 is 3, then you get predictions on what is most likely to happen next. And this is something that I now use full time. So maybe at some point when that goes live, but we're not there yet. If you use wave charts, of course, you might want to use Hexaplan to follow your trades. Then there might be a partnership between those two as well. So it will absolutely happen, but it will take some time to get those sorted. Can you explain more on step 2 of strategy creation? What should I do there? Yes. So step 2, let's use the same tools as we just did. So these 3. So the goal of step 2 is to create a hypothesis or a question. Basically, you write a question and you're going to test the question. That's what you're going to do in the market. So for example, let me do it a bit more serious now. And this is what I did back in the day many times. So for example, price finds support on the 382. Right? The coin doesn't matter for a second. We just save this test. Unfold it. Then we have on the golden pocket, or maybe we write the 05 as well. We just add the different things. Just as a more proper example. Okay, so you can see I have a couple of different questions here. No, I can add another test, by the way, that wait, let's just do this. I can like, and I will make tutorials as well. But basically what we now do is, okay, we have Fibonacci as a tool that we have selected. So we go to the chart, right? And basically what we're going to do is just pull Fibonacci's and then see, okay, I pull a Fibonacci here from the high to the low, take it to the right. I toggle on all the different fibs and I see that the golden pocket here, right, acted as resistance. Okay, golden pocket acted as resistance. Let me just put this here. So the golden pocket acted as resistance, which means, boom, did it act as resistance? Yes. But if the golden pocket is reached, then support was not found on the 302, also not found on the 0.5, right? And actually, also not found in the 786. Right? It was found on the golden pocket. Okay. So, and you can just do this like in different ways, right? So we have here, I don't know how deep this one is, 0.5, also golden pocket. I actually want to have another, this might be a 786 here. So then we pull here, low to high, 786, cool, 786 is tested. So it did not find support on the 302, not on the 05, not on the GP, but it did find support on the 786, right? And you collect the data, and you do this for 30, 50, 100 pools, Fibonacci pools. As you can see, you can do this very quickly. I'm now on the 1 hour time frame, right? It's important, in 1 hour time frame. You might want to do a time frame specific. You can mix the time frames, doesn't matter really with Fibonacci. Just about, okay, where is price finding support? Right, so we have here a move to the upside. Price then retraces to, here it is the golden pocket, right? And then you get a move towards the upside. And this move up is about like 3.5%, right? Which means that in the data, I could say price bouncing from the golden pocket gives over 2% bounce. Yes. And you can create more different hypotheses, like things that you want to check. I want to use Fibonacci, okay? But in order to use Fibonacci, I need to write down a couple of questions, and I need to test them. Where does it find support the most? Now, based on my data, let's just, as an example, let's just do a couple of things here. So the 302 is this. So we are doing a lot of different Fibonacci pools on the chart, right? And we are just testing. So we do a lot of different fib pools on the chart. And that is, of course, oh, wait. Okay, that's something else. I just wanted to do these four. So based on the data, right? So you have a lot of different observations. Maybe you have 50 or 100 Fibonacci pools that you have done. You collect data, and out of those 100 Fibonacci pools, you notice that in this example that I have here, that the golden pocket, based on the pools that you do on the chart, acts as support most of the time. Out of the observations, right, your golden pocket gives the best result. Okay? We can go to results here, the results tab as well. I don't even know if I covered it. But basically on the results tab, you can see that we have a hit rate here, right? We have the amount of observations, which should be the same, of course, but I just clicked randomly. So maybe that's 100, right? You did 100 observations. Then you can see the hit rate as well, right? So the golden pocket was the best based on the results. No, bullish environment in this case though. And then you get a certain score, which is an edge score that we have, right? Based on what you use, you get a certain score. You can have details as well. And then you know, okay, well, I want to use Fibonacci, but based on my data, it's not a good idea to use the 382, the 0.5, the 786, and the 886. I want to use the golden pocket. Okay, so if price is retracing to the 0.5 and then moves towards the upside, I am not part of that trade. I need price to go to the golden pocket because based on my data, this is the place where price retraces the most before bouncing, right? Or creating at least a bit of a bounce based on your data, right? You can collect data on how far does the bounce go, right? You can have a test here that says, okay, maybe which one are we going to do? Maybe the golden pocket. Golden pocket gives bounce and then fills. Price takes out low high where it was pulled from. So if you collect this data now, right, about this question, then sometimes what you see is the golden pocket acts as support, you get a bit of a bounce, and then price reverses. Which means that if you enter on the golden pocket, if you would just use fibs, right, if you enter on the golden pocket, maybe you learn where to take a TP1. Because if price moves from the golden pocket up to maybe the 0.5 or the 382 and then tends to reverse down and take out the low or the high where it was pulled from, you can still get a TP1 in before price reverses. And instead of a loss, you at least have a TP1. So it's a little loss, or it's a break even, or maybe even a profitable trade, right? This is why we build the data. But this is individual tool, just Fibonacci. Of course, we want to do stuff on support resistance in this case, as well as RSI, right, with RSI divergences. And then eventually we want to combine these tools. So now we know that from the fibs, the golden pocket works the best. Okay. Now, from the horizontal support and resistances, we can have statements related to daily naked point of control, daily, weekly naked point of controls, or maybe it's just, in your case, volume levels, time frame horizontals, trend lines, right? You can do a different statement. So we could be like, okay, volume level gives support and bounce. Okay. Well, let me do this here. Add test. And now we do the same with time frame horizontal, which is your daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. And we can do, again, the same. But now we have maybe a trend line. Diagonal, maybe a diagonal trend line if you want to be specific. No, but just a trend line. You know, quite often with trend lines, you can see trend line is pulled, and then you get one bounce, two bounce, and then the third one maybe fails. So now what we can do is just put our levels on the chart, wait for price to hit our level, and then be like, well, did the daily, weekly, like naked point of control acted as support, or just a range point of control, just volume levels in general, or maybe you want to make it specific? You do yes or no. And you can see how easy it is to track this. You just open the chart, you already do the work anyway to put the levels on the chart. You might as well then collect the data. If the daily naked point of control, and on the chart, actually on my chart here, we had a monthly naked point of control, which acted as support. 1 second here. Oops. So the current support is made on the monthly naked point of control. Which means that if I were to collect data, I would say, let me actually go back here, remove the observations. You can also, of course, reverse them. Volume level gives support. We say, yes, it did. We can specify this by saying it's a monthly naked point of control. Did the time frame horizontal give support? Well, the previous low here was made on the daily. This was on the daily, which gave a bounce. So in that case, yes, it did. And we can just collect data. Right? Does it give support? Yes or no? Now, if price is just going to fill and fall through the monthly naked point of control, you basically get a tiny bounce and then poof, like untradeable, then no, it didn't. And you just keep doing this. And then in a short time, you have a lot of data, which you can then use later in this process. And then, of course, we have RSI as well. Right? And then the goal is that based on this research here, you're like, well, based on my research, let's just, again, put in some data here. So maybe based on the research, let's do 50 observations. Oh, 51, let's go back one. And then we have time frame horizontals. Like there is a reason why during live streams and in my content, I say that volume levels are my favorite levels. And that's because I know based on data that volume levels give, they're great support and resistance. At least the volume levels, how I use them: daily naked, weekly naked, monthly naked point of controls, range point of controls. Right? I don't use trend lines, so I have no idea how trend lines honestly perform. So I would just make it the worst out of the three because, you know, I'm a noob with trend lines. I don't use them. Let's go back one. So then based on my research, I now know that Fibonacci, the golden pocket, finds most often support. Right? So the golden pocket acts as support most of the time. Plus, volume levels also tend to give support most of the time. Okay, but that's great, right? And maybe you also have an RSI divergence. But that means that if we go to the next step in step 3, and we want to create a strategy, and we have data on Fib and support resistance, didn't collect data on RSI, so I can't select it. And I say this is the strategy of Kostov. Yeah, maybe on Bitcoin specifically or not. Then what happens now if we do research here on our strategy, right? Tracker name, well, let's just RR. Profit, stop loss placement, maybe low high, safe tracker. What we can then do is be like, well, now we are combining the tools. So if price is retracing to a golden pocket in confluence with a volume level, be it a range point of control, daily point of control, monthly naked point of control, whatever, then I want to know what happens. If we combine those two things instead of just isolate them, right, we now combine the best Fibonacci with the best horizontal level based on our data. By combining the two, which we do here in step 3, we now check the risk reward and the win rate. So if the golden pocket and a volume level is at the same place and price moves into this, what happens? Huh? What happens? Where do we like, and there's different research methods, as you can see, but basically, where do we put the stop? How big is the bounce, right? How far does it go, etc. There's different ways of doing research here, right? So you can select it, mechanical, dynamic. Here's a box as well, so you can read it. And then basically by doing step 3, you find out where is my best take profit? Where is my best stop loss? What is my win rate? So step 3 is the start of creating the strategy. You now combine your best results and the best tools out of step 2 in step 3. And now you combine them. When price touches the combination, you quote unquote enter, right? Quote unquote. You do your research and you check where's the bounce, how far did it wick through, like, you know, you have those type of things. And you're just going to collect data. You can collect data on the risk reward ratio. Maybe you want to do like dynamic. Safe tracker. So yeah, automatically. So this is the data that you want to collect, and here you collect data on risk to reward because you want to know. So when we are trading, we don't really want to leave anything to chance. I think price may do this. I think price may do that. We don't want to, you know, maybe price will continue here because volume is increasing. Maybe it's not. Now, if you use Elliott waves, then, you know, that can be your strategy and you can use these tools to, of course, adjust your plan. But for most people, having a plan with a set stop, set TP and stuff to at least begin with is very smart. And basically here, what we do is figure out the best risk reward ratio and the win rate. So that you know my win rate when the daily naked point of control and the golden pocket is at the same level is maybe 60 or 70%. And based on the research, you can figure out the RR, right? We can do like, is a 1-to-1 R hit, yes or no? So here, my research here is TP3R, but maybe I should do TP1R, TP2R, TP3R, TP4R, etc. And then you figure out what your best risk-reward ratio is. So you don't have only one question here. You will have a research that says, okay, this might be a 1R research. Stop loss placement, maybe you have it, maybe you don't. And then we do this 1, save tracker. And now it says stop loss, right? TP is 1. And maybe you know where you want to put your stop, right? Or based on your research. So then you know, okay, if price is bouncing here, and I can see how far it's going, where does it go most of the time? So what then happens if I just draw on the chart here, and that's the beautiful thing of collecting data, is that if price finds support and it moves towards the upside, and you collect data on, well, price is moving, and maybe you want to use percentage, right? You can also track data in percentages. Is price moving 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%? Also possible, no? Or in R, if I put my stop loss maybe 0.5% under the horizontal level, or maybe I put it at the low or whatever, 1R, 2R, 3R, 4R, 5R, and then you can track what is touched and what isn't. Is the 1R touched? Yes. 2R touched? Yes, currently, right? Is 3R touched? Yes. If price now reverses, then it means that you say yes, yes, and yes here. And you say no and no for 4 and 5, right? This is no, this is no, this is yes, yes, and yes. And what then happens is that you, based on data, once you do this 50 times, right, which goes relatively quick on a chart because of the volume levels and stuff, right? When you do this many times, you will find out that, well, most of the time, right, based on data, 1R might be hit 90% of the time. 2R might be hit 75% of the time. Who knows? 3R is maybe hit 60% of the time. 4R might only be 20% of the time. Oh, wait a second. That's a big difference, which means that the strategy should not go to a 4R because we lose 40% here, right? So that means that a 1-to-3 risk-to-reward ratio might be your best pick for the strategy because it's touched 60% of the times with a 3R, 75% of the times 2R. But of course, it's only a 50% difference in percentage, but it's 1R. So I might want more R, a little bit of less, like quote-unquote win rate, in that case, 60%, but more R, which gives a better result. Because the result of profit is win rate combined with risk-reward ratio. Those two together will decide your bottom line. And this is what Hexaplan helps you do by doing the research here. And that is what the steps are for. And select everything and delete. And then once you figure out your risk-reward ratio that is best for the strategy, and you also know the win rate, you go to the next step. And now you also know that if you just execute the plan and you put the stop loss every time at the same place, because you can also here track the stop loss. Are you putting the stop loss at 0.5%, 1%, 1.5%, 2%, 3% from your entry? Are you putting it below the low or the high of that particular entry where you pulled the golden pocket from? You can track that data, and then you know your risk reward, you know your win rate, and then you just stick to the plan, right? That's of course the goal as well. I know now that a 1-2-3R gives me a hit rate of 60% whenever the golden pocket and a volume level at the same place are touched. Now the win rate of this maybe it's also 60%, no? So that means I will lose 40 trades. And we also know that based on one of the future steps in the 6 steps, right? If we go to, let me just quickly just do one. Let me go continue here for a second. 30, let's go to step 4. Here we fill in our stuff. Let's just do quickly like this. Right, save the strategy. Please select, oh, gotta select a tool. Well, trading approach. Continue to step. Which means that once we get here to risk and survival, you know, okay, well, my win rate is 60%. And over 100 trades, it also means that, well, I could lose 5 trades in a row, 62% of the cases, but still have a win rate of 60% with a 1-2-3-R, which is then also where the Monte Carlo simulation comes in, which is this one over here. And maybe I need to do a quick refresh here. Jeroen is watching as well, so let me do a quick refresh. Oh, we're at the beginning. Quick refresh. That's fine. We just did it. There we go. Of course, always during live streams, things go wrong. Still is the case. Everything works, of course, just before, and then this one little thing doesn't. But dark mode, yeah, dark mode. We also have dark mode. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you want dark mode? I can put on dark. So, yeah, but then you have the Monte Carlo simulator. Maybe I should just go here. Where is it? And here you know your account size, right? Maybe it's 10K. I mean, maybe it's less or more. I don't know. Your win rate. This is what's also part in step 5. And then we have your average loser is 1R, trades is 100, and you can basically figure out like, okay, you know, how would my trading strategy perform over a period of time, right? So yeah, step 5. We don't want to think, we need to know. No, it's all about collecting the data. You don't know anything at the beginning, right? The data will show you what is best and what is not. The only thing you have to do is write the statements. So you want to select a tool like Fibonacci or CVD or something, and then be like, okay, I want to use this tool, and we can put in example research questions, right? We can put it in the platform as well. Well, we will continuously innovate. Basically, you want to be like, okay, well, if I use Fibonacci, right, which Fibonacci level is going to give me the support? Okay, well, I need to check this. Well, in that case, let's just write the question then. What support found on the 382, on the 05, on the golden pocket, on the 786, on the 886? And then we just pull Fibonacci's everywhere and be like, okay, here the 618, here the 382, So we collect the data. And then based on the data, we're like, well, everyone always says that the golden pocket gives great support, but actually the 0.5 gives better support. Okay, well, I might want to use the 0.5 for my strategy. So the data will tell you. The data is where the magic is. That's what Hexaplan helps you to do, is collect that data. Yo, what's up, Big Shot? Yeah, there's a lot going on, and for sure I will create a whole educational video compilation, like playlist on the platform with you know, like going through everything in a bit more detail when people have questions, which is yet to come. We just wanted to put it online. A lot of people will be able to just use the platform as it in many cases speaks for itself, but maybe with the strategy part, that's the most important part. I will probably start there with the explanation videos, and then the rest comes later. So yeah, and then also don't forget to go to the Discord as well, because so if you run into a problem, or you have a question, or like whatever it is, just write us here, right? Bug reports. Oh, this is I think an old one here as well. 23 days ago. Yeah, we were still testing here. So yeah, this was old times when it wasn't live yet. But yeah, like chat here, ask us. We will add and update Discord all the time. Welcome. You know, people coming in as well. What's up, guys? So yeah, make sure to ask there. And we also, of course, in Hexaplan, we do have the community area where people can talk as well. And maybe here in the community, and it's early days at the moment. I don't actually know in detail how many people use Hexaplan at this stage, because while being live, I didn't check the data. I just know the beta testers. And the beta testers, they, because of their time and effort, they will have a discount code for the platform. And we had like 30 or 50 testers, I think 50 testers. We had over 100 people that wanted to test, but 50 people tested the platform. So, would be 50, but yeah, we continue to update. And also it will all become more and more active as people use it, and eventually, of course, marketing and whatnot. And here in the community hub, which is really cool, is that you can look for categories as well. So maybe there is a discussion that's going on about psychology or trading tools, and you can just start a new discussion here on trading tools. And maybe the thread is like, I collected data on VWeb, and this is result. Whatever. And then you here, right, like, and you give like some insights into, well, I did this, I then did this, I then did this, and this is some of the results that I had. Do other people combine the VWeb with another tool that might be very relevant? Because I'm interested, you can just you can chat with other people. Of course, you can do that in Discord. But here we also have just generally the categories and and a button to the Discord, of course. But then here you can just create a new category, and we will keep an eye on this. And actually at the right, I'm not sure if I explained this, but at the right top, you can filter the platform as well. So you can filter date range. Maybe you don't want data on all of the trades. Again, this is an example account for people just joining. Maybe you want to just check the last month or this year or this week. Maybe you just want to check the last trades, the last 10, the last 100, the last 50, or a custom amount. Maybe you want to only have information in Hexaplan on your open trades or your losing trades or your winning trades, right? Only the longs or the shorts. And then the moment I would touch only longs, I now only get information on the longs everywhere in the platform, right? Or on the shorts, for example. No? Did I follow my plan or deviated? Well, if I click on deviated, I only get information on the trades where I deviated from my plan. And if I click on followed, then I only get information. Followed the plan. Not sure what went. This is an example account, so I'm not sure what happened here. But all time, followed the plan, $83 in loss, amazing result. But basically what you get is you get the data on your followed trades, basically. Let me actually just remove this, just clear this here. So we're 2.8K in profit on this example account that we quickly made. So I don't know if we go followed. Oh, there we go. Followed 2.8K. Okay, now we actually get what we need. So 2.8K in profit with followed, right, and then deviated 95 in loss. It would be nice to share collected data, yes, which is also why we had the community tool, because something we would like to move towards is that. So we're still very much in the thinking phase, because actually sharing research is something that we thought about when developing the platform. We just didn't really know, would people like to share their research with one another? Would they maybe like to develop strategies together in teams? So this is something that we thought about as well, is maybe you want to meet other people, and then that person checks the VWeb, that person checks Fibs, and then you basically collectively create a strategy together as a team effort. Maybe you want to have a discussion and collect data on VWeb, and everyone shares their VWeb data that people might want to use. Maybe at some stage there's going to be like some sort of a store where people that developed a strategy that is confirmed not only by the platform but also by us and the data, maybe they can quote unquote provide their strategy to other people and basically like sell it. I don't know, like a marketplace or something. I have no idea. Like these are different things that we thought about, community stuff, right? Creating strategies together and whatnot. But we decided to, with the size that we have, to start with just a community hub and have the other things in the back of our mind. Von Tabada, yo, welcome, sir. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Thank you. And Dark Tiger, hope you are good. Hope you're good. Your comment, oh, that must have been a YouTube comment because we don't remove comments ourselves unless it's scam, Ahmad. Don't forget to also give the congrats to Jeroen because Jeroen is the coding brain in the background. I'm like the visionary and I think about, I want this, and we discuss things together, but he's the one that does the typing in the background. It was a joke. But yo, welcome, Von Tabada. Welcome, man. Well done, Jeroen, indeed. I did. It's as astounding as you would expect from Koenz and Jeroen. Thank you, Legendario. Thanks for your support, man. One of the OGs of the channel. What about wave charts, which you showed some time ago? Still in development. We are now over here, like a wave chart. So this is the charting platform. We are going to create hexa charts as well, which is in some ways similar, but it of course won't have all the Elliott wave tools that we have here, or all the Elliott wave specific things like wave info and projections and whatnot. It will be geared to trading plans. So for example, if your trading plan was too long at the monthly naked point of control, oh wait, right? And this was your plan, then what wave charts or some of the things I can talk about wave or hexa charts related is that hexa charts, when your trade is tapped and the position calculator is running, you basically the platform hexa charts communicates with Hexaplan. Right? So what the goal is eventually is that when you are trading, the info that happens on the chart is communicated to the platform so that when you write your daily review, your take profits are in there already, your entry is in there, your stop loss is in there, like everything is already filled in. You just need to do maybe some of the psychology stuff and those type of details. And basically hexa charts communicates with Hexaplan, which is really cool. So it's more automation basically. Wave charts, which is what you see in front of me right now, which is made for Elliott wave analysts in particular, right? Because it has a lot of Elliott waves gimmicks and tools and things specifically for Elliott wave analysts, which I'll explain in a later stage. We are working towards a launch. We're not there yet. Our focus is very much on Hexaplan. And the next step would be wave charts, and the compendium is at the designer. So while it's at the designer, I can focus on other stuff a lot more. So Hexaplan is on, and then wave charts will follow at some stage, but I don't have a date. Yeah. Jeroen Coffee Fund. Yo, Jeroen, I'm going to send you $10 because I just got $10, so I need to send you. Let me just quickly do this. 1 second here. Okay. I'm making the transfer as we speak. Add the transfer details. Oh well. Let me open Discord. Get to Jeroen. Where is my... I'm gonna send you $10. I need to send it to your Mano account. Coffee for your own. It seems like your I need to add your details again. Okay. Your IBAN and stuff, but I will do that after the stream. I'm gonna send you $10. It's open on my phone. It's just that when I look at the beneficiary details, I don't have you in the list on the French business account. Plop. It will be nice to share collect the data with the yeah. So I'll answer this one. Exactly. XP means that you have some sort of leveling. Yeah, it's like a gamification system in the background. And it's specifically aimed on, did you stick to your plan, yes or no? So the XP, it's mainly strategy related. So if we go to strategies, for example, and where's the YouTube strategy that we have at the moment here? So we have like the strategy, we have the arena as well. Right? And in the arena, we also have XP. I'm just trying to find because very recently we actually removed the XP from the dashboard and we put it somewhere else. I'm just trying to find, we had it earlier. But basically what it does is the XP is a game. This is the score of the strategy. Arena. Oh, there we go. So I was just looking for it. So DXP is plan adherence related. So the goal is not that you are going to you should not judge yourself based on your P&L. You want to judge yourself based on, did I follow to my plan or break my plan? Because the money will come if you stick to your plan. A losing trade is part of the plan. So what we want to aim for is that people are going to focus on, did I stick to my plan or not? But they focus on the plan. They don't focus on the P&L. Of course, we need P&L data in the platform because people like P&L data. But a lot of the things, as explained earlier as well, is also geared towards the plan, improving the plan, creating the plan, data about the plan. And XP is like a gamification way of showing, did you stick to the plan or not? And then you have different levels and you can give yourself rewards as well if you stick to the plan. So if you have a trade that was according to the plan, you get 3 XP. And if you break your plan, you get -2. And if you just continue to stick to your plan, what then happens, and this is an example account, so we don't actually have the rewards open here, but basically what then happens is you can set rewards for yourself. So, you know, you have level 1, level 2. Not sure if maybe I should just go to the 6-step builder. So here we go. So you can set your own rewards for your strategy. And maybe when you reach 5 XP, which basically means you got to be sticking to your plan at least twice, maybe what you do is you're going to deposit a little bit more, or maybe you have custom, right? Buy myself coffee, for example. And then when I reach 15 XP with this strategy, right, which basically means that you need 5 trades according to plan in a row, or if you broke your plan, -2, it will take more trades to get to 15 XP. But what then happens is that you, by the time you reach 15 XP, you unlock reward number 2. Whatever this then is for you, right? Are you going to multiply your account? Are you going to have a custom reward that says, buy a dog? I don't know. It can be anything. Maybe you want to deposit a bit more money because you are proving to yourself that things are slowly but surely working. You're sticking to your plan. So maybe you want to improve your account maybe by depositing 5%. you know, like 5% on top, right? That can be a reward. So what you can do is you can give yourself rewards, and you can see like this list. It's 20 rewards. 1,050 XP is the biggest one. And by introducing this and probably innovating in the future, the goal is that you focus on sticking to the plan, not the P&L. It's the plan. And then you reward yourself by sticking to the plan. Buy myself a coffee, go for a walk, take a massage, go to the beach, go on holiday, whatever it is. That's the goal of the XP that you get by sticking to the plan. Absolutely, Legendario. 100%. XP is mainly for discipline. Exactly. Level up by following your plan. You can use it to slowly scale your account or set personal rewards like level 5 is dinner with my wife. Dinner with the wife. I don't think I need only level 5 for that. I think it's going to be at least a level 10 in my case. So really looking forward to Wave It's going to save a lot of time. Yeah, pleasure, Bert. Yeah, we're working on it. Working on it. Like of course, like the goal is to create tools that, like, I see things in the community and during live streams, and we try to help people by then developing something that either saves time, makes it easier, makes life more efficient, gets you quicker to your goals. Like Hexaplan will significantly reduce the time it takes to create a trading plan. And what it does is it continuously gives you data to improve your plan and therefore your results. Wave charts will significantly shorten the time for people to learn Elliott waves and implement Elliott waves. And we all know how tricky Elliott waves can be. So, that is what wave charts is focused on, but it's not ready yet. Yeah. I can see the wife being a level 10. SA girls can be difficult. No, she's not difficult. No, she's not difficult. She's amazing. She's amazing. My wife's the best. And our little kiddo is the best as well. But when we go for dinner, I better have at least level 10 XP because it's gonna hit the wallet. It's gonna hit the wallet. Yeah. So I think that's basically. Are there any questions? If not, then I think we can slowly. End the live stream. How long am I live for? I'm live for 2 hours now. 2 hours. Will we have access to the charts that you are using? Wave charts is not yet live, but at some point it will. And my shared chart link. Here. The shared chart link is this at the moment. But it's still it's not yet on its own domain. So, but yeah, this is under development, and wave charts is live today. So yeah, and so if I sign out, so again, the first 100 people, or if you register in the first 14 days, then its founder pro is 29, and after that it becomes 39 a month, or 290 or 390. 290 now after 14 days, or the first 100 people, it's going to be 390, and we have free as well, of course, for you to check things out, and you can always go founder pro later if you want. Shout out to the Oracle, yeah. Oracle wave. No, wave charts is not live. But I just shared my my view. What is it? This one here. The live share. Wave charts will be live later at some point. So okay. I think that's it. Pleasure, Charbel. Let me move this to the main screen. So yeah, thanks everyone for being here. Wave Charts is live. Helps people to create a plan, create a strategy, journal it as well, of course. And yeah, it's very exciting. Hopefully you're going to enjoy it. Make sure to ask questions. If there's any issues, let us know. Oh, did I say Wave Chart? Okay, Hexaplan is live today. Now it's late, 2 hours live. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking out Hexaplan with me. The link has been posted numerous times. It's in the comment section as well. And we are going to continuously work on it. So yeah, it's amazing. It's great to create strategies. I'm using it myself. Plus collect data and reports and analyze and improve the systems that you already have, because there's always something that can be better. So yeah, thanks of course for all the beta users for giving us feedback on during the development, and it's very exciting that it's live now. So you're going to hear a lot more about wave charts regularly during content or live streams or whatever. And yeah, thanks everyone for being here. I'm gonna sign off, and it's time for me to have some dinner. So yeah. Thanks for watching, and I will see you at the next one, which will probably be tomorrow. Let's see what the market does. Friday, I can't upload a Bitcoin update because I'm going to be gone the whole day for my dad's birthday stuff. So just FYI. So yeah, and to all the new people that are registering, thank you for registering and your support. It's going to be a great ride. And it will be incredibly useful, because if you want to create a consistently repeatable plan, we have the guidance to do so and to help you out there. So thanks for watching, and I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye.